Hello, my lovely peaches. I am walking home after my second day back at work, back at the vegan restaurant. It was great. It is so much better taking orders than being in the back, cooking them. Going back tomorrow. So that's cool. So, love, self-love, love of others. What is self-love? And what is self-love? And how do you love yourself if you don't love yourself? How do you love yourself if you don't feel that you love yourself? How can you be loving to yourself when you don't already feel loving towards yourself? How do you develop love for yourself, especially if you have been conditioned, trained, groomed not to? And or if your life experiences have left you feeling shameful, humiliated, damaged, unloved, unwanted, abused, molested, abandoned. How do you turn those experiences into love for yourself and into healthy, loving relationships with others? How can you develop healthy, loving relationship with yourself and develop healthy, loving relationships with others when you don't have a basis of self-love from your experiences? So I want to talk about my methods of developing self-love, self-worth, self-respect from a place of lacking those things because of my experiences, my conditioning, my traumatic wounds, and over 4.5 decades of unseen wounds that could never be healed, and finally working on healing those wounds, seeing them and healing them and moving on from them so they no longer are wounds, but instead are healed, empowered experiences. So if this interests you, if you want to know how can you develop self-love for yourself when you're lacking, and you want to know my particular unique way of learning to love self, join me on Patreon. I share lots of love coaching videos there. I have different tiers: $5 a month, $10 a month, $25, $50, $100. So really, depending on your level of interest and need, there's something there for you. I think learning to love ourselves is the most important, crucial, vital, imperative for everyone. Because the truth is that without self-love, every single relationship that one has will be difficult, challenging, and unhealthy. My personal belief is that it is impossible to have a healthy relationship with anyone if you don't first have a healthy relationship with yourself. If you do not love yourself, then any attempt of love with another will be an unhealthy pattern. That might be codependent narcissist pattern. That might be codependent pattern. That might be needy, abusive pattern. Many. Too many to probably list of the variety of types of unhealthy patterns. But when you're lacking love for yourself, you will either become so codependent on others that you will, of course, become abused and abusive, or you will be narcissistic and selfish, and that is also abusive. Or you just won't believe in your worth to have a relationship, and you may just opt out willingly or unwillingly. If you're walking around and you don't love yourself, that is a vibrational energy state that emanates out in every direction. And whether or not people can articulate what they're feeling from your vibes, they will be able to feel your lack of love for yourself. And we'll also add, I believe, lack of love for yourself also will always result in lack of love for others. Even if you believe you love others, but you don't love yourself, as I just explained, when you don't love yourself, what you feel is love for others is usually some variation of obsession, fixation, unhealthy attachment. So my definition of neediness is essentially unmet needs that become twisted into unhealthy patterns. So everyone has a need for love and affection and connection and meaningful, valuable relationships in their life, whether they're able to acknowledge and admit that or not. And when those needs are unmet, and the skills and the methods and the ways to have them met, the ways, the behaviors, the healthy connections, to have our need for love and affection and connection to be met are unhealthy, undeveloped, or poorly developed, or ill-developed, then that gets twisted into neediness, which always results in unhealthy connections and relationships. So, how do you love yourself when you don't love yourself? How do you develop love for yourself when you're already whatever age you are? You're already 15 and you don't love yourself. You're already 25 and you don't love yourself. You're already 35 or 45, 55, 65. You're 85 and you don't love yourself, and you're like, what's the fucking point at this point of bothering? Well, if you're still living and breathing, then there's still the opportunity to love yourself. And every day is an opportunity to learn how to love yourself more, love yourself better, love yourself more lovingly, love yourself more thoroughly, more fully. So if you want to join me and hear these videos I will be making in the next several days, weeks ahead, join me. Click the link below. I have a lot of videos that I've been working on about how we can't have any SP, any specific person that we want, and that is the way it should be. And that thinking you can have a specific person who doesn't want you specifically is actually an obsessive fixation, lack of love for self and other. So if you're interested in those videos, I will be sharing more of those videos as well soon. And hopefully I'll see you there. And I hope you are learning to love Living Peach every day. And eat your fruits and your veggies and your grains and drink your water. Get some sunshine and some exercise. Move your body in ways that make you feel good. See you there. See you next time.